Okay, this is 11.6. Go ahead and write the objective. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Objective is students will represent quantitative relationships graphically and interpret the meaning of a specific part of a graph in the situation represented by the graph. Okay? So what this means is we're going to represent relationships, number relationships, in a graphic way using a graph, okay? Quadrant grid graph. And we're going to interpret the meaning of parts of that graph. Like, for instance, if you interpret the slope, what does that mean? Well, we talked about today that an upward slope means that the slope is increasing. A downward slope means that it's decreasing. So that's what it means by interpreting the meaning of a graph. You interpret parts of it, okay? So, slope-intercept form. You're going to write this definition. A linear equation, y equals mx plus b, is said to be in slope-intercept form because m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept. And here are your examples. Y equals x plus 2. Since y equals mx plus b is what we're looking at, and we know this, m is the slope, and b, this, which we discussed the other day, is the y-intercept, meaning where the graph intercepts or crosses over the y-axis. Okay? So, in this one, remember that m is next to x. So where's m is here? So what number is m here? What number is next to x here? We have 1. Because anytime we have a variable by itself, we know that the coefficient is 1. And the y-intercept then is the b part, this right here. So again, y equals mx plus b. So in this equation here, m is 1, coefficient 1, and b is 2. Y-intercept is 2. Let's look at this one. Again, y equals mx plus b. Okay? So m is 3, because the number next to x is 3. So m equals 3. B is 5, however, we're subtracting it instead of adding it, so it's negative 5. So this y-intercept is negative 5. Example 1. Let's use the slope-intercept form. Find the slope and y-intercept of the graph of y equals x minus 4. So we're going to just rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form so that it says y equals mx, so there's a number next to x. Since there was no number next to x here in my graph, I'm going to write the coefficient as 1. Okay? And since we're subtracting 4, and this is addition, we're going to change it to addition, and it's going to be negative 4 then. So now I can just identify the m and the b, which is the y-intercept. Okay? So m, the slope of the line, is 1, and the y-intercept, the b of the line, y-intercept, is negative 4. Example 2, writing equations in slope-intercept form. So we have to make sure that the equations are written in the form of mx plus b. y equals mx plus b. Okay? So y equals, hold on 1 second, I'm sorry guys. Okay. So example 2, y equals negative x plus 2. So first we're going to put the coefficient there, y equals negative 1. Coefficient is 1 plus 2. So now we know that the slope is negative 1 and the y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to write it for you again just so that you can see it. Y equals mx plus b. M again is the slope, so that's negative 1. B again is the y-intercept, so that's 2. And letter B, y equals x plus 5 over 2. Okay? So we're going to rewrite this so that we put a 1 as a coefficient, and we're just going to separate this. So in other words, all of this, 1x plus 5, is being divided by 2. So we're just going to separate it so that it's 1x divided by 2 plus 5 divided by 2. They're both being divided by 2. Okay? So when we have that, 1x over 2 is the same as half of x. So y equals half of x plus 5 over 2. So the slope, the m, is half, and the y-intercept, the b, is 5 over 2. And c, y equals 7. And now we have to write this in y equals mx plus b. Okay? So y, we don't have an x, so we have 0x. And then we have 7, so plus 7. So the slope is 0, which, as we saw today, is a straight horizontal line. And the y-intercept is 7. Let's go to guided practice, actually. Okay. So the slope-intercept form of the equation is m is the slope, which is the coefficient of x, and y-intercept is b, the constant term. Okay. Number 2, show how to write the equation 3x plus y equals 5 in slope-intercept form. 3x plus y equals 5. We want our y by itself on one side of the equation, so we need to write it as y equals mx plus b, right? So y, I want this 3x gone from here, so I'm going to subtract it. If I subtract it from here, I have to also subtract it from here. So when I subtract it from here, I have y equals, I can't combine these two because one of them has a variable and the other one doesn't. They're unlike terms, so 5 minus 3x. And now we're going to turn this around so the x comes first. Y equals negative 3x, positive 5, plus 5. Oh. Determine which equation is an equation of the line shown at the right. So let's look first for the y-intercept. This line crosses y at 3, and it's positive 3. So this one is negative 3, right? So I know this can't be the answer. This one is also negative 3, so I know that can't be the answer. Okay? I also see my slope, and because this line goes down, I have a downward slope, I know my slope is negative. Okay? So this has to be my answer, because this shows a negative slope here. So I didn't even have to do any math or work any numbers here. All right, I'm just using clues. Okay? Find the slope and y-intercept of this equation. So I'm going to write this formula again. I'm going to keep writing it over and over so that I never forget it. Slope is m. What does m equal in this equation? Negative 4. And y-intercept is b. Y-intercept is 5. Number 5, find the slope and y-intercept of this equation. Again, y equals mx plus b. So slope, m is the slope, is 1/4. And the y-intercept is b, which is -1. Find the slope and y-intercept of the equation. Again, y equals mx plus b. On this one, the y is not isolated by itself, so we need to get rid of this 3x. So we're going to add 3x here. Then we have to add 3x here. So now we have y by itself equals 2 plus 3x. And we're going to switch it around so that the x comes first. So 3x plus 2. Now it's in slope-intercept form. M is 3. Y-intercept is 2. And that's it. You guys have a nice evening. We'll